Yesterday and today we had workshops, so I brought a group of young women to take part in that and share their experiences with the young women from South Africa.
Like seriously fun games that are educational as well. So yeah, that's in the games.
Do you have a favourite game?
Yes, the one that I won.
I enjoyed the games.
What's your favourite? Singing.
I like to find more about South Africa and like getting rid of the stereotypes and finding out what it's actually like.
What have you learned about the country?
I think just mostly about the culture and the traditions. Like, it's so much different to like the UK. It's unbelievable. It's just, you don't think things like, you know, giving money to the family who you're marrying kind of thing still exists, but it does. And just to find out the meaning of it and like what it's for, and it's not actually a bad thing, it's a good thing.
And the stories that we just told now, those are the things that makes us who we are.
Yeah.
We can't change them. They make us who we are. That's our identity. Growing up in that situation and being in that situation, it gives us our place. It puts you in the place of a woman in culturally. It puts you in a place of a woman. It might be wrong to people that don't practice. They would see that as being unfair or what. To us, it's fine.
But again, do you mean like how not all cultures agree with the same things?
We had quite an interesting discussion with the girls about kind of, we were talking about problems that we felt, that everyone felt that were present in their home, whether it's South Africa or London, where I live now, and Salford. And it was interesting how I think universal problems are, because one of the things we talked about was the presence of drugs and things like that. And actually, a lot of the things that were being said, you could pretty much, pick them up and put them in someone else's mouth, because it was just things about problems with the problems of having, say, drug dealers in an area and how that impacts on the community. And actually, they were very, very universal, everything that was being said, which is, it's interesting to see, I suppose, how small the world is, I guess, in terms of that, like everyone faces a lot of the same issues.
So it was interesting to see that that happens as well even here in the UK, because you think that a place like the UK would be different from South Africa, because
One of the girls told us that she doesn't like to stay around here. Yeah, because there's a lot of drugs. Young people are smoking, are into drugs.
We thought that you don't get poor people around here, like people that stays on streets. We thought that you don't get buildings that are shattered and all that, and you don't get people like that ask from other people. We thought the government cares for the people. Oh, let me say, I thought that the government cares for the people, because all the times they're talking about centers and all that, but still I do see people on the street, and still I do see people asking, begging, beggars. I thought it's going to be like a really, really, really different place, but so far I still felt like I'm still in South Africa, but just maybe in another place that I don't know.
I think it's empowering young women in a social, political sense, and in an individual sense.
it's very rare that we get to work with young women as a service nowadays to progress all these things, and when we get an opportunity to meet young women from a different culture and a different country, it's just an amazing experience.
I always thought that things are different from South Africa, but I just found out that women here want the same things that South African women want, which is equality, liberation, being free-spirited, being, freedom of speech. Yeah, equality. We all are the same. It doesn't matter where you are. As ladies, we feel that men have been given too much power, if I may put it like that. So we're actually the same. We have the same views on how the world should run.
It's lots of the same issues. It's issues of being concerned about maybe inequality or opportunities that perhaps aren't given to girls, for example, that are given to boys, or expectations. We talked a lot about kind of in my group about this is when we're in the same group, about wanting to break out of a stereotype where perhaps society is telling you what you should wear and who you should talk to and how you should act and all of those things, and how actually it's a universal thing of just feeling that kind of boxed in idea and everyone being quite keen to break out of that box but what was nice was that everyone was also bringing up, we said what words kind of come to mind, and people were saying things like courage and strength so it was nice that there is that idea of like it is possible, and it's just that breaking stereotypes or historical kind of ideas or anything. I think it's been quite interesting. I think the girls were quite timid and quite shy at the beginning, and it's been quite nice because I think they've been getting a bit more confident in kind of responses and group discussions as well. It was really interesting to hear what they had to say about things, and I think smaller groups really helped because it meant that I guess it feels a bit safer to kind of venture your opinions and things, so it was really good.
When we got here yesterday, some of the girls were held back and not talking, but I saw a change today. Some talking and they are, which is good, because they didn't know us yesterday. They didn't know anything about us, and it's nice to come into a place like this that deals with young people, and they feel free to tell you the things that happen in their home, some of them are private. They would never tell anybody. You really don't think that other people can go through what you're going through, but then when you hear a young person saying that, and you say, okay, it's not me alone. And when you open up, and then that gives somebody else to open up to you, it feels that to me makes me feel like I've done my job.
The singing was amazing, and it was really nice to hear those different sounds. And I think, again, as maybe I don't know if it's controversial to say as a culture or as young women in Salford, we don't actually voice our opinions or voice our words, whether it's through in sound or in poetry or anything like that. So it was nice for these young women that I work with to be able to be free and be able to do this without feeling exposed or vulnerable, really, which was really lovely. But ultimately, we've almost got like a rooting in common as women, as individuals. We're almost together as one, and it's made me proud to be a woman, which has been really nice to find again, I think. And sometimes we forget because of our daily lives what that's like, and it's been really nice to connect with it again.